Hotline first episode. That's right. Welcome. Hello, Mr. Girl Hotline. How can I help you?
Hello. Let me
Uh-oh.
just
Wait,
turn.
I got a compliment. Mr. Girl, you did such an amazing job with that last caller. You're such a talented content creator. Fuck you. Thank you for the $10, though. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so I watched your Real Doll review, and well, in the title it says it's an excerpt, so you obviously cut it.
That's not the full review.
No. So I watched your full review on
Okay.
Pornhub
We
after
can't. We
your.
can't. I need you to not say that because it's against TOS to direct people to things that break TOS.
Oh, okay. Well, I watched your full review on an undisclosed website.
Sure.
Um, After your conversation with Mike.
Okay.
Um, it's interesting, but I feel like there are two separate conversations happening
Okay.
when you watch the two different reviews. Because the full review, when you push Shaylin, she pushes back. But for some reason, you've cut out a lot of that from your excerpt.
Um, you mean in the first half of the review, she pushes back sometimes?
No, I mean the long conversation that you have towards the
The
end.
the excerpt I released of the long conversation towards the end is identical to the conversation in the full review.
Okay,
This
maybe
is
I just
amazing. This is amazing.
heard.
You watched it twice, and the second time you watched it, you had a completely different understanding of what happened. Is
Yeah,
that what
but
you're
it's
saying?
also yes,
Aha! Aha!
and it was
I just no.
after
I
I
just cut it out.
watched.
I didn't even change. It's not even a different file. I just exported 30 minutes of the review and put it on YouTube. It's exactly the
Okay,
same. I didn't change anything.
okay. So obviously I watched the excerpt several weeks ago,
Aha!
and
Yes.
yeah.
You
So in between that time and up until now,
your
I've
feelings have
seen
changed.
you. Yes. Um, I would also say that I was a fairly new viewer to your content.
Okay.
For some reason, I kept getting Destiny recommendations,
Yeah.
and one of the recommendations was him with a with a thumbnail of you and Erudite talking
Yes.
in the corner.
Hey,
So
listen.
eventually, I
Wait a
clicked.
second.
Oh, yeah.
Listen. If you want to talk about my conversation with Destiny and Erudite, you can just say that. You don't need to give me or the audience the play by play of like, I was sitting at my computer. I took a sip of my Mountain Dew, and YouTube flashed a thumbnail, and I saw the thumbnail. I reached over for my I fucking know. You watched the conversation. Do you have something you want to say about it? What do you want to talk about?
So I'm curious if um, I don't feel like your latest conversation with Erudite was very productive.
What is what does productive mean? Because that's a word people seem to be throwing around a lot.
Well, it's your VOD is about 6 to 7 hours long, and in the beginning, Erudite is trying to she's trying to engage, but you keep cutting her off, and or you keep cutting her off, and she keeps cutting you off, but you get
Yeah.
very agitated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually she kind of crumbles together, and she just doesn't respond anymore.
I've seen it. And I was there. You
Yeah.
said you were curious. Okay, you're saying we cut each other off. What are you asking? I know I asked you what you meant by productive.
Well, one
Let me
of
describe what
your
happened. You already said it wasn't productive. So describing what happened, I know you are already. I'm asking why you think it's not productive. But what is your question? The psychology book you should read is called Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris. Okay.
why?
Because it's all there. It's all, everything you need to know about psychology is right there. Okay. What are you asking? You said you're curious.
I'm
What are you curious
asking.
about? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking. You're a big proponent of empathy,
I'm a big.
understanding.
Yes.
Yeah. But in order for you to understand someone else and for someone else to understand you, there has to be a permutation. There has to be communication that gets through between you. And if you're too confrontational, then you end up just yelling at each other, or one person just shutting down. So what is it that you feel like Erudite didn't understand?
I reject the premise. I think that Erudite wants to become the next Dr. K. I think that she is defending him and thus defending a semi murder, semi manslaughter, we'll call it, a semi manslaughter, and I think that she is going to hold this position no matter how nice or how mean or how loud or how quiet anybody approaches her. She seems to just be defending the idea as a whole by saying, yes, it breaks ethics rules, but I don't think it's inherently immoral. She said completely fucking preposterous things, like maybe it would be ethical for me to secretly be Destiny's therapist, but still have our other relationship be the way it is. So I disagree with you that she was not engaging with me or responsive to me because of how I was talking. I think it's more like she was stonewalling because she's just going to do this. And I saw she did a VOD with Wicked Supreme where she's in the title she said she was going to psychoanalyze him, but she put it in quotes, for liability reasons. Yeah, I think that she is going down a dark path, and I don't think it has anything to do with how I'm talking to her.
I disagree still.
I just don't think she has good faith in the sense that I think she just believes this, and I mean it's not like she's bad. She says she just believes it. So, but she's wrong, and she's saying I'm wrong, and I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm saying she doesn't know what she's talking about. There's a lot at stake for both of us.
She's getting really defensive because she's feeling that you're attacking her, right?
No, she's getting defensive because she's doing something fucking horrible and is going to keep doing it anyway. But you can reframe that as she's defensive because I'm raising my voice at her. You think that's threatening her more than me being like, anybody who does anything this guy does, I'm going to dedicate my fucking life to destroying them? I feel like that stance probably is making her more defensive than me yelling while I say it.
Well, you're also calling into question her competence as a licensed kind of therapist, or what she is.
She's not a licensed therapist. She's an addiction counselor.
An addiction counselor.
Yes.
So you can see how she's getting defensive. She's already looking
I don't think
for
that's anything
escape
to do
routes.
I don't think it has anything to do with me like yelling, though. Are you asking a question? Or are you giving me feedback that's pretending to be a question? Is there something? Look,
I don't know. I'm actually kind of I'm trying to figure it out as I'm talking to you, because my opinion of you has changed since I first discovered you until now.
Okay. Would you like to talk about that?
Yes.
Okay. How has it changed?
Okay, so let's just talk about, well, for instance, your video on Trump.
Yes.
From 2018.
Yes.
Where you're describing that your opinion of Trump has changed.
Yes.
And you're honestly reaching out to your audience. kind of not asking for an apology, but you're explaining how you've participated in something that's led to less empathy.
Yes.
Because of what?
Why did I participate in it?
What caused the lack of empathy
In
from
me?
your previous from your previous communication?
I thought that other people would look at Trump and realize that he was a horrible influence on American politics, and that he would do serious damage to democracy and the concept of like truth itself. Now I understand that a lot of people either A, feel that way about Democrats already and so are so jaded they don't care, B, are swept into his cult of personality and so don't see that, or C, are just like disenfranchised and don't care, or they just genuinely don't think that. And those other possibilities were really hard for me to imagine until I started talking to more conservatives and Trump supporters and understanding that there are things that liberals want that they just find completely unacceptable and awful, as do I. Or there's just a lot of other perspectives that I wasn't imagining. I figured that anybody who supported Trump must want him to destroy democracy. Now I understand that they either don't think he's doing that or don't care or something else. I don't know.
You don't think he has anything productive to bring?
No, I do. I think that Trump has paved the way for people to be oddly more honest about who they are, to be a little more rough around the edges, for us to not have to be totally squeaky clean sexually or ideologically in order to be elected to public office. All the things that we said, like, oh, you could never be president, blah. He probably paved the way for more black gay president. Like there's probably a lot of good that has come from somebody who seems unelectable getting elected. And speaking with Trump, I think it's kind of fake candid. I don't think he's that candid, but he certainly gives the appearance of being more candid than your average politician. So those are things that I think he has brought that are good. And I think that there's a strong anti-white sentiment on the left, and Trump is a symptom of that, and gives us or me like a roadmap of like we have to address that. It's we like you can't just hate white people. It's wrong. We should not do that. We shouldn't encourage it. And I think that's another good there's good things that will come from Trump, and there's some messages that he has that I like. But ultimately, I think he doesn't like understand or believe in the Constitution or the rule of law. So for me, it's like total non-starter. Everything else is secondary, where I'm like, he doesn't believe in the First Amendment, so he can't be the fucking president. But a lot of people didn't feel that way, and I think I understand them better now than I did.
It's a good answer.
Thank you.
But you do see that the way that you're making that bridge between people on the one hand and on the other hand is through a calm and...
Well, sure. That's how. But I'm not talking to Trump.
No, you're not. But
if I was talking to Trump,
you're
I probably
speaking
would...
you're speaking to the people who maybe was on that side that you were on, and you're trying to bring them closer together, right?
Sure, but if I'm in a discussion, if Destiny is moderating a call between me and Trump, and Trump says, like, well, we had to ban Muslims because a lot of terrorists are Muslims. And I say, well, actually, that violates the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, which, if you're president, is a pretty fucking important document. I probably would raise my voice like that. And then Destiny goes, whoa, 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 and then pulls some analogy out of his ass to run cover for that. I'll probably start fucking screaming at everybody. if I'm in a conversation I control, I'm not gonna be screaming. If I'm in a conversation where I feel like I'm getting 2v1'd unfairly and fucking gaslit about what we're even talking about, I'm gonna start screaming. It makes me freak out.
Yeah. Okay, so so in your conversation with Vosh, you said something about World War II.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't World War II. It was actually the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you would try to prevent it from happening.
Sort
Do I
of.
remember?
I said that I think that assuming that the Civil War is the best possible outcome and the best way to end slavery seems a little self-congratulatory and a little pro-violence. I think we can obviously say it's good that slavery ended, but assuming that that was the best way for slavery to end, which I think most Americans do, and clearly Vosh does. He said it's the only way it could have ended. Like from an existential point of view, I guess only one thing can happen, and all past events have a probability of one. But my point is that looking at it from a frame of the way to end big division in America is war seems like a bad idea. I think that we need to be open-minded about that there may have been ways to do that that didn't involve thousands of people dying. And so when he says, "Oh, so you're saying you would have just talked them out of slavery?" I'm biting the bullet and saying, "Yes. You can reframe my position to sound fucking stupid, and I'll say yes, Vosh. I'm happy to do that for you. Yes, I would have ended slavery by talking." And then I get quoted as like, that's the only part people quote, and they're like, "Oh, so you said you could have talked people out of slavery?" I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm trying to talk. What do you? Isn't that the point of the channel? I'm trying to talk people out of war now. I'm just instead of going back in time to do it, I'm just trying to do it, before too much blood is spilled. But yeah, I would like to reduce polarization, and I do feel like political violence is increasing, and could increase a lot. We have, again, Trump leading a mob of people to try to kill the vice president, and doing nothing to stop it, and doing nothing to condemn it.
I think it's interesting, though, how you value your ability to be able to solve that conflict with words when in a 2v1 you can't keep your cool.
Do you understand there's a difference between yelling at somebody and setting up a gallows and hanging them in front of the Capitol building?
Yes.
Do you agree? Okay. So, yes, I yelled at a woman and I yelled at Destiny. However, I also have personal relationships with both of them. So, professionally, I think Erudite is doing something terrible, but it's also clear that she and I have an interpersonal rapport. I know her. We have some kind of relationship, and Steven is my friend. We also have a relationship. So me yelling at them, I don't think is the same as me breaking into the Capitol and setting up a gallows so I can kill the fucking vice president of the United States. I don't accept that comparison.
I wouldn't say that I made that comparison, but...
Well, you said you can solve that with words. How are you going to stop a war if you yell at a woman? And I'm saying like that.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, I yelled.
I
yell when I'm angry. I think expressing feelings is...
I'm saying in a situation where you're mildly outnumbered.
I would say I was severely outnumbered.
The conversation.
I don't think I'm just mildly outnumbered when
2 versus 1.
It's not 2 versus 1. Person. No. When one person is the moderator,
doesn't matter if it's a woman
when one
or
person
not,
when one person is the moderator, it's not just a 2 versus 1. When the moderator is unfairly moderating against you to protect the other person, maybe because she's a woman, that's my theory. We all know that's what I think. And he's your friend, that actually makes it worse. And he's jumping in and arguing about the thing, but he won't.
But now you're making
excuses. He won't watch your documentary.
But now you're making excuses.
No,
you're excusing your behavior.
I don't think my behavior is bad, so I'm not excusing it. I'm just disagreeing with you that it's simply a 2v1. You're also implying. Listen, we've started too many different arguments at the same time, and this has to end. Do you have a final thing you'd like to say or ask? Just say what you think. I feel like a lot of callers will try to lead me through all these questions, and just say what you think up front. I think I can engage with that much better than trying to figure out what you think and then being. And by the time I figure it out,
I think your use of the word empathy is interesting.
no, you don't
But
think it's interesting. You think something negative about it, and then I'm gonna say, "What do you mean by interesting?" And then you're gonna lead. Just fucking say what you think.
well, I do think it's interesting, but I don't think that you're being very effective at leveraging your empathy.
Okay. Well, I have to end this call. I would like you to call in again sometime if you feel like it and give me top to bottom a clear, concise argument about how I'm not leveraging my empathy, what that would mean, and then I want to get to that at the beginning of the conversation instead of the end. So if you want to have that conversation, I'm open to it. If you think it's worth doing, but I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to help you construct it and then do it in the same call. It just takes too long.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in, and I look forward if you decide that it is worth your time. I look forward to the rematch.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.